What's up, guys? It's the Black Bonsai guy, and I'm back here today. Today I'll be repotting this desert rose. Got this from Lowe's probably about 2 or 3 weeks ago. As you can see, we got some roses that already bloom. This particular model, if you look here, you'll see that it was grafted on. So I'll take it out and expose everything to you and get this guy ready to go. Let me just grab a pot for a second. All right. So what I'm gonna do is shake all this dirt off. Just make sure you guys can see. And you can't. Just come over this way. I'll be taking it out. See that? Decent roots, but this particular soil is not good for desert roses. They grow on the cracks and crevices of mountains. So I'll just take my bonsai tool here and gently get all of this soil out. And it's my first video I'm releasing for the week, so I'm gonna take my time with it. If you want to skip forward, feel free. But I'm gonna take my time, man. Not a bad soil, but not good for desert roses long term. Coming along nicely. A lot of folks are scared to do this to their plants, but if you take your time and you're sort of gentle with them, everything works out fine. And I see now that we have a great root system. So Lowe's did a good job in this particular instance. Sometimes when you get these, they're already starting to rot because they don't know how to water them for this type of soil. If you're going to keep a desert rose in this type of soil, one of the things you want to do is you want to make sure that you water very lightly and give these their proper amounts of sun. Now it's been kind of crazy in Tucson in terms of temperature and weather. I think it was like 106 today, which was crazy. And these, although they love the sun, you can see some of those leaves, some of the roses, they got kind of cooked. And that happens. It's not a bad thing. You just want to make sure that you don't continue to let it happen. So I just pulled off all of the dead roses. And as you can see, this is how it's going to look when they bloom. Right there. Get closer. And this will have 3 or 4. This will have, what is that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 10 clusters there. Now they may fall off, they may not open up because I'm repotting them, but this is more important to make sure that they're in the right soil. So this is called a caudex. And what I'm doing is I'm going around it and I'm feeling just to make sure we don't have any soft spots that are starting to rot. If we did have a soft spot that was starting to rot, I would take some sulfur and cut all that stuff off. I think we're in pretty good shape. So I'm gonna go back into the same pot. So let me pause for a second. All right, I'm back. So what I'm gonna do is, this is the pot it came out of. All right, no need to really clean it up. If I was worried about drainage, I would throw some rocks in the bottom of it, or use some empty plastic water bottles, throw them in the bottom of that, and then that will give me the drainage I need. Just gonna add some of this soil in here. Let me take a moment to talk about this soil. So I get this from a nursery out here in town. My favorite nursery out here in town is called Echo Grow in Tucson, Arizona. And it's basically perlite, or vermiculite rather, and some coconut husk. And they have a little bit of organic material in there, a little bit of regular soil, just so that the plant gets some life, or has some nutrients rather. So what I'm gonna do is put some of that at the bottom, and I'm gonna raise it in the pot to probably be somewhere around there. So let me do that. Get this guy situated in there. I'm liking the way that's looking so far. Looking like we know what we're doing. It's always important. What I'm doing is I'm raising it up right now, and I'm shaking the soil. It's getting out all the air pockets, and it's allowing the soil to fill in around those roots. And also, it's allowing me to pick the plant up, get it higher. Because the goal on desert roses, you want a nice big fat trunk, right? And you want to show that off, so you don't want that below the soil. So as you can see, there's two different colors of caudex here. You have one that's more of a tan, and it goes into this grayish type of tan. This is the older wood, of course, or the older caudex, and this is the one that was below ground. So in the previous pot, it was about right there. That's why it looks like that. Over time, it'll slowly start to get the right form. Man, just a little bit more. And when I say form, I mean the right color. And these eventually, the caudex on that thing will get, you know, just depending on how big a pot you put it in. I mean, it could get 16 inches easy in diameter. I think that is it. A little bit more over here. And there you have it. I'll pause and take some different shots. All right, so here we go. Do a little profile of it. Now, if you listen to my videos on bonsai and selecting the front, you let me know What do you think the front is? Is it here? There? We know that's definitely the back. Nothing over there. So for now, I think that's gonna be the front. I like that, that's dope. And if I wanted to, I could use a tree spacer to get some more separation in the branches, or I could just let it grow naturally. Don't know exactly what I want to do with this one yet, but I did want to get it out that soil. It's been sitting in there for a couple of weeks. Watering. You water desert roses. I water mine once a week. If it's real hot, like during the summer right now, I water it twice a week. I water on Wednesdays and Sundays. And when I water, I don't water the leaves. I only water the soil, and I let the water run out the bottom. And I do that 2 or 3 times, and then I just let it be. I give mine, depending on the size of the desert rose, I give them pretty much full sun. Unless it's just crazy, I'll back off and maybe give them some shade. But for the most part, most of mine get full sun. Let me just pivot towards that rose. You can imagine that this desert rose being full of those, that's how it's gonna look. I say maybe in 2 weeks, if I didn't mess anything up by doing a repot right now. And if I did, I'm not worried, because I know I may get another bloom before the end of this year, and if not, next year gonna be jumping. And I'll try to keep these branches pruned really low. I like how the contrast between that wide caudex at the bottom compared to the short leaves look. I mean short branches look. I like that. I think that's dope. So what I'm gonna do now is pause and show you a bigger one. All right, I'm back. This is a bigger one. And let me see if I can pronounce the Latin name of this. I know it's Adenium and Arabicum. This shade Dwarf, if you can see that. Don't fight me on the pronunciation of that. I'm an engineer. Don't do good with the spelling and reading. Don't believe me, ask any engineer. This one bloomed not too long ago. You can see some of the spent leaves, spent blooms on it right there. And there's one still at the top. I'll tilt forward. Hopefully you can see one right there. I can't go too far because the rocks will fall out. This is a another desert rose. Same family as this one over here. And look how big that caudex is. That's got to be maybe 7 inches at the widest part. And you can see the branches are relatively short. I like that short bushy look, but I also got on one they long and tall. And this caudex over time, it's gonna fill out this pot and just continue to get bigger and bigger. Desert roses is their own niche of gardening. It's pretty big out here in Arizona or in California as well. So the goal is to get a whole bunch of desert roses. I started 44 of them last year, and I think I got maybe, of the 44 seeds, I think maybe 12 or 15 of them survived. And I didn't do a good job of taking care of them. I just had so much stuff that I was trying to do at once. But eventually I'll need to do repots on those, and I'll pause for a second and take you over there to look at them. All right, here are the other desert roses that I started. Coming along nicely. So I'll be doing repots on these soon. Just wanted to do a quick video to show you guys some desert roses. It's the Black Bonsai guy. I'll be back.